where horror lies.
Hey guys, Rob from Georgia here with you, aka VHS82 apostrophe. I'm your regular Wednesday evening host here at BodyBags, and it is week 458. Yeah, I had a look. 458. It is the first week of August, and things for me are going to get extremely busy from here on out, at least for a bit. So I wanted to jump out a little bit early. And of course, you don't know how early is, but I just watched something this morning. Now, I do not own a copy of this, but I watched it. We're talking 1961, Antonio Margheriti, of course, Cannibal Apocalypse, right? And I'm trying to think, Long Hair of Death. I'm pretty sure I've reviewed that on BodyBags. And Cannibal Apocalypse. Pretty sure I reviewed that. But Margheriti, man, he was known for a lot of things, as well as a lot of these guys, these Italian guys were. And science fiction is one of them. Okay, I'm pretty sure he did his fair share of war movies and adventure, maybe some sort of insano, maybe. I can't think right off the top of my head. But he is known for a lot of stuff. The one movie that I really want to watch, or again, should I say, in review, is Killer Fish. The Lee Majors, man, and I believe Karen Black is in that. But here, I watched this morning, compliments of Amazon Prime. I had to pay $1.99. The title of this film from 1961, Battle of the Worlds. And I've heard about this film multiple times via podcasts that I listen to. But I don't know. I was up early this morning, and I just felt like watching something old, something sci-fi. And the added bonus to this movie for me personally is Claude Rains leads the cast as Professor Benson. So really, basically what you got here, and this is really more or less an informative review. I only really watched it once this morning, and so, we'll see how great my memory even from this morning is. But basically, the gist is this. And this is a fantastic early Italian sci-fi movie that just predates, I think, Mario Bava's Planet of the Vampires. Basically, what you got here is the basic setup is you got Benson, an aging professor who is like a genius at mathematics. He, as far as he's concerned, I think he is very cynical, very cantankerous, and pretty much he is the best that the world has to offer in terms of his field of study, right? You've got it's not really explained, but you have a ruling authoritarian sort of government body that sort of makes the major decisions in terms of the well-being of the earth, which, he seems to be at odds with. And then we find out that we have a military base out on Mars, which is pretty cool. And they are constantly watching the skies, in terms of any outlying threats. And one will come in the form of a rogue, sort of like asteroid type planet that will enter our solar system, universe, whatever, and will quickly be discovered by Professor Benson. Although he doesn't raise a loud tune about it, he's just comfortable living within the world of his mathematical equationist type world. But those around him at this observation station that is like on this island down on Earth, his sort of those who work around him, they are made aware of this. And of course, all the red flags go up and everyone's freaking out. Of course, he's not, right? Because he already knows this thing has come in, because this guy knows everything, man. And he has fun with it. And you could tell, man, I think Claude Rains had a lot of fun with this character. He just seems to have fun with it. Of course, it's been a long way since The Invisible Man and Casablanca and other things that he did. Lawrence of Arabia. I love Claude Rains, man. He's one of my favorite actors of all time. It's so much power that he can emit, man. He's just fun to watch. And this is, in this early sci-fi piece by Margheriti, sees this rogue planet come in, and it's not caught on the radar of the military post on Mars because of some kind of storm is basically messing with the radars and everything. And so it basically bypasses Mars on its way to Earth. And very quickly, the ruling governing authority is trying to, react. And eventually they will. Now, Professor Benson, Claude Rains. Now you got a couple other things going on here too. You got Umberto Orsini and Maya Brent. They're sort of the couple at the beginning, right? And you find out early on that he's just gotten orders for a transfer of sorts. He's looking to get him and her out of there. They're going to get married and all that. But of course, once this planet comes into view, everything starts to change. And so their relationship kind of gets put off on hold, right? And you got another couple actually up on Mars, a husband-wife team, who eventually will make their way to Earth and offer their services to be part of the solution in terms of engaging this, what is being perceived as a threat. Now, once, Professor Benson, he declares that no one should worry because this thing's going to bypass Earth, and his calculations are right, except as it nears Earth, this thing suddenly changes course slightly and comes into Earth's orbit. That becomes very problematic in terms of gravitational forces, the impact it'll have on the planet, in a disastrous way, right? Kind of think of the moon being ripped out of our orbit, a la Space 1999 type thing. And this is going to create some major, major problems. And no one really understands what this threat entails. And so, there's different ways of engaging it, and Professor Benson believes his is the superior way, of course. And the ruling governing authority, feels like it deserves a military response. And so you kind of got those forces working at odds or, sort of parallel together. And, and they meet the threat. Ultimately, in the end, it's interesting because the first time they go up there to explore this planet, spaceships will emerge from somewhere in the planet and engage our spaceships, right? And they realize out of that engagement that they are using our radio frequency. And you can see how some of this stuff is used later on in American cinema and stuff, some of these tropes, I guess you call them. And so Benson comes up with this brilliant idea of using music in the sense of utilizing radio frequencies to basically mess them all up. And what he's trying to do is basically get himself in a position that he, more than anything, he wants to lead an exploration, not to the surface of this rogue planet, but to the interior of it, where he believes there are forces that are driving this planet to Earth. And so he wants to go up there. And at first, the ruling governing authority won't let it happen. Ultimately, he'll win the argument in the end, and he'll lead an expedition to the planet in order to assess how much of a threat and if there's a peaceful way of basically pushing this thing away without nuking it. And that is I think the option is to nuke the thing out of orbit. And so he, once they get into the interior of this thing, he will find the source of what used to be alien life. Spoilers. Actually, no, you know what? I'm going to stop right there. I'm not giving any spoilers. This is worth checking out, man. I'll just stop right there. He leads a team into the interior, but he's on a very, very short time before this thing is nuked, whether he's on or off of it. They really don't care. They just want this thing, and maybe for good reason. They just want it out. And so really that's basically your setup, sort of. Now for $1.99, I'm pretty sure you could probably see this for free on Tubi, and I'm pretty sure I saw this on Amazon on DVD for only like $12 and change or something. If you love or are interested in old Italian cinema, especially sci-fi, old Italian sci-fi, and Margheriti is one of those guys. For $12 and change, I don't know if really you could go wrong here. Claude Rains leads the cast. It's pretty. I didn't really dig in terms of the cinematography and all of that. I just watched it this morning, but I'm telling you, I got a kick out of it. It's a little slow at points, but there's somewhere in a full quarter in on your way to halfway. it suddenly finds its groove, and I found myself just going along with it right to the very end, and it was engaging. It was something different, especially when you get to the interior of the planet and you start seeing uh I've read somewhere, maybe this is like one of the first times in science fiction cinema that you actually got to go inside the interior of something, being a rogue, be it a spacecraft, alien spacecraft, rogue planet, whatever. This is one of the first times. So there's some interesting things going on in the world of sci-fi, early cinema sci-fi. And so, I mean, it is definitely worth. I'm just going to pretty much wrap it up there. And this is definitely worth, yeah, it's worth. I would probably just pay the $1.99. I don't know if you watch it on Tubi. I don't know if there's a difference in the transfer on Tubi where you try to watch it for free and say paying the $1.99. I didn't want to take a chance. I just wanted to see it in a half decent presentation, so I just paid the $2. And but I'm probably gonna end up picking this thing up. I didn't see a Blu-ray on Amazon. I just saw the DVD, but you might want to look if this is something that might interest you. From 1961, Battle of the Worlds, a cast led by one of my favorite all-time actors, Claude Rains. It is an Italian sci-fi piece, an early one, and by Antonio Margheriti, however you say his name exactly. Actually, he goes under the pseudonym of Anthony Dawson in this particular film. So anyways, Battle of the Worlds, maybe not horror per se, but, the health and safety of the world is in jeopardy, and that's pretty horrifying. So anyways, it's a fun flick. Check it out. Anyways, we always leave these things off with Go Bills.
This is not a dream.